Hello, everyone. Hi, it's Tracy here from TierraCast. Welcome to the Great Beat Extravaganza Midsummer Market Takeover Days. I'm kicking us off. Hold on, I'm going to do a little bit of sharing work on the social media channels and make sure we don't get some audio overlap. But as you know, if you are a Great Beat Extravaganza member and have been so enough to see a few of our events, we always lead up to the big event, which in this case is Midsummer Market is taking place the third, or maybe it's the fourth weekend of July. That will be we'll do our kickoff party on July 22nd. That's a Friday. And then the event days themselves are the weekend of the 23rd and 24th. So leading up to those, we always like to do what we call takeover days, which is when the vendors, the other vendors in the group, all of us take a day and just take over the social media in the group page and on the all the pages that were active. I do want to share this, and we also shared the content onto our own, sorry, hold on just a second, trying to talk and work at the same time. We also, of course, stream the content and share stuff onto our own business pages, which is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to share this onto the TierraCast page. It'll take me a minute to get there. I try to be as set up as possible to do all the stuff, when we do these things. But there's a lot. You're like, well, I need it to be live here, and I need it to be live there, and I need it to, it's just a lot of stuff. So I am going to share this into the TierraCast page. And hopefully that will work, and it'll be streaming. We'll see. So yeah, that's what today is. Today is kicking off the Midsummer Market Takeover Days. I'm first, and I just have a kind of a day of content for you, starting with a live stream demo of our newest kit, which is the Western Lace earrings. We're pretty happy with this little kit. It came out with our Wild West launch last month, maybe. It's a blur. Launched it last month, and I think that it's been quite popular. I think people are liking it. It's a very simple design. The kit itself, awesome. It has kind of a beautiful turquoisey blue lace. The components are gold. I'm going to throw a link into the comments right now, which takes you to the inspiration page. Which will on the inspiration page. So this project is available both as a kit. So this, which you can purchase retail from various sources, including you want to check our Great Beat Extravaganza vendors, of course. Also comes as just a downloadable inspiration project. So you can go to the link that I just posted and download a project sheet and make these earrings in whatever color you want and whatever metal finish you want. There's a whole lot of potential, because it uses a lace that's called flat suede lace, so it's quite fine. It may also work with deer tan and deer skin lace. So what we're using is that suede lace that's very thin and flexible and soft. A traditional kind of 3 millimeter thicker suede lace won't work. The beads that we're using are about little over 2 millimeter diameter. So a larger suede lace will not work for this design, but I'm going to show you a couple ideas there after we're done with this demo. So it's fun. It's got some possibility. And as I was saying, you can purchase a kit, or you can just go and download a inspiration page and make it on your own and choose your own colors of suede lace. And I'll just say this right now. I'm going to switch the camera back for just a sec so I can hopefully get you excited about the fact that I'm going to give away a couple of these kits at the end of our live stream here. I'll give you details, and we'll be doing a little giveaway for 2 of these kits. So that's exciting. So let me switch the camera again. We'll get busy on this little demo. So the kit, if you purchase a kit, it comes in a sweet little package here. Comes with an inspiration instruction card, has of course the image of your project, and has all the things that are included in the kit, and then it has all your ingredients on the inside and instructions on the inside. So I do all the project instruction writing here at TierraCast. So I try to be very thorough. I try to cover all the bases, all the little questions that might come up when you're making something. I try to address those. So there's some nice little images. We say lark's, we throw the term lark's head knot around very casually, assuming that everybody knows what that is, but they may not. So there's little diagrams in there for that. So the kit also includes a length of the flat suede lace, what they call the flat suede lace. You can see quite thin, not like your traditional suede lace, which I just happen to have a piece here. So a traditional suede lace can be quite thick. So that's not what we're using. This is a flat suede lace. And then we've got a 2 millimeter gemstone bead with a 2 millimeter hole. We have a spacer with one of our spacers with a 2 millimeter hole. We've got a ear wire, and we have a hoop component. Now, what we included in the kit is a clasp ring from our newest clasp set. So this design is available as a little toggle clasp set. It was part of our recent, I said Wild West launch earlier, but what I meant was I'm getting my launches mixed up. The kit came out with our Wild West launch, but our most recent kit was our Spring Roundup, and this little toggle clasp was included in that. So for the kit, we wanted to use the little ring for earrings. So that's what the kit includes, is a couple of rings from that toggle clasp set. So I'm seeing lots of people popping in and saying hello. So it's nice to see you all. Thank you for joining. And some of you may be coming from YouTube. Thank you also for joining me there. And if you can't catch this live, and you watch it later, thank you. Thank you for watching it live. So suede lace the length in there is about 13 inches. And so what I've done here is already cut it in half, because I pre-assembled one of the kits. I'm also noticing, for a second there, I thought I put the clasp, the ear wire on backwards. I did not. It was just a momentary hallucination. So I cut that lace in half. So that gives me 2 6.5 inch pieces of lace. And the first thing I want to do here to get us going on the demo is I'm going to trim the ends of this at a little bit of an angle. And that's just going to help me when I'm threading those pieces through the small beads. And then I'm going to take this little piece of suede lace and I'm going to fold it in half. And now I'm going to pick up my little clasp hoop, the hoop that I'm using for this pair of earrings. And it does have some different detail on both sides. It's not a huge difference. This is kind of an etched, viney type of design. And it's got a little bit of a concho detail because it was very inspired by Western style. That concho detail is on both sides. The detail of the pattern is slightly different on both sides, but this is where you want to decide which side is going to face front. So I want this side to face front. It's got a little more detail. This one has a little bit less detail. So I want this side to the front. So I'm going to take my folded piece of suede lace and I'm going to thread that hoop. I'm keeping the side I want facing forward to the front. I'm going to thread that little piece of suede lace through the hoop. And bring that down. So I've got now my hoop right there, and then I'm going to thread those tails through the loop, or through the hoop. I'm throwing the terms hoop and loop out over and over, and they're going to get confused. They just are. So this is where I want to kind of look at my lace, my pieces of lace, and make sure that they're not twisted, and make sure that they're going to kind of look good when I pull that knot tight. And to do that, I'm just pulling on the tails and pulling the loop where it was folded up tight against the hoop. And that's it. That's a lark's head knot. And so it's a pretty easy little knot. It's very functional, very, it's fun to do with cords. It looks real good with various leather cords. So now I've got my lark's head knot tied. I've got this gemstone bead with a 2mm hole, and I'm going to take some sharp nosed tweezers, and I'm going to just kind of get a hold of the tips of the lace, and I'm going to tuck those through the holes, the hole of that bead. And because this lace is so soft and flexible, that's pretty easy to do. And then I pull the bead all the way up to the top. And then I'm going to follow it with, I'm going to do the same thing with this little spacer bead. So the little tweezers here are really helpful here. This lace is so soft that if I was just trying to thread these through without the help of something to poke it with, I'd probably make myself a little bit crazy. So the tweezers are super, super helpful in this situation. So I got those threaded through. And I slide that little bead right up to so where it's sitting right underneath the gemstone bead. And that is it for the main part of the earring. So you can see how very quick and easy that is. My last step is just, I'm going to take my scissors and I would trim these how I want them. And I'm just going to trim it so they're kind of angled in the other direction. That just makes more sense to me. And you can also, if you don't trim the lace too much, you're going to get an earring that's about 3.5. It's approaching 4 inches, I think. You can trim that a little bit shorter if you want. I like it on the longer side. So I'm not going to trim it anymore. And then I'm just going to scan the comments here. Hello to everybody who's popping in. Kimberly is asking if the hoop is sold separately. That particular design is a clasp set. At this time, we don't sell it separately. Our customers could, in theory, special order it separately. And it may be something down the road that we could add to our charm selection. But as it is right now, no, we don't sell it separately. But if you were to buy the toggle clasp, you would just want to set that bar aside, and you could use that as a toggle bar for some other ring component down the road. Yeah, let's see. Anybody else? Any other questions that I need to address? Don't see any just now. So, and know that if I don't catch your question, if you do have a question and I don't catch it while we're live, I will definitely be going through this, all the comments later, and I will try to answer you later. So now I'm just taking my ear wire and adding that to the loop at the top of the the earring, and that's it. So you see how easy that is. Now, Kimberly brings up a very, very good point about whether this particular hoop is a spacer bead lined with silicone. It is not, Sunny. This is a real suede, Eileen. Oops, too many questions. Eileen, this is a real suede. It's called flat suede. Faux suede might work if it was thin enough, but I'm going to show you another idea too if you're working with a thicker suede. Is the spacer bead lined with silicone? It is not. Our pewter spacer beads are just metal. The hole is nice and roomy, which also brings up another thing. Leather suede laces can vary quite a bit in thickness. So I might buy a spool of it or a little package of it, and it will be, because it's an organic product, right? And might be a particular kind of thickness, and then I might buy another one, and that batch is a little bit thicker. So you're always should be thinking about the possibility that with your leather products, you might get some variation in thickness and stuff. So just something to think about. If this is going to hold just fine, but if this particular lace was a little bit thinner, it's possible that I would want to take a little bit of adhesive and tuck up in here, maybe put some adhesive right there and let that kind of hold that little bead a little bit. I would probably use like a GS Hypo Cement with the little needle. That's probably what I would use in this case. So we were talking about how this ring, this particular hoop, is part of a clasp set, but there are a lot of other things you could do this project with. You could do just a ring. This particular one is one of our hammer tone rings, but you could use a ring of any design. Those are pretty common to find in jewelry making. You can always buy a variety of rings. We have our stitch around hoops that really make a nice possibility for this design. This particular model I worked up also uses the large hole beads, and it uses 1.5 millimeter leather cord. And that worked pretty nicely. Those, I was able to tuck 2 strands of the 1.5 millimeter cord through the holes of both that large hole gemstone bead and our spacer bead. So 1.5 millimeter cord is certainly an option. Again, be thinking about size variation. This is just a brown cord. It doesn't have like a color coding on it. So it's a kind of a truer 1.5 millimeter. Sometimes if you buy the leather cords that have bright color coatings, they're a little thicker. So you want to be paying attention to the thickness of your cord. And then because I was playing with toggle rings for the original design, I was also thinking about the possibility of using them with the thicker suede lace. So I pulled out some suede lace, and I pulled out some of our holes that have even larger, our beads that have even larger holes. We call these our Euro beads. And if you guys remember a few years back, the huge trend in Pandora and troll beads, and of course the DIY jewelry industry. What were some other brand names for those? There was Pandora, there was Troll, there was, I'm thinking Camellia, but that's not the right word. There was a few different brands of these very popular bracelets that had charm beads, and they all had these, they all had holes that were about 4 millimeters. So of course the DIY jewelry industry, we responded by kind of making beads in that style. So we have a small group of beads called Euro beads. I'm going to throw that link in here. And they have a larger hole. So it's about a 4 millimeter hole. Let me get you guys a link for that, those Euro beads, because they're a fun little product group. They are, there's some animal, let's see if I can find a nice clean link for you as I'm searching on the website. Sort by, here we go. All right, throwing this link in. This is a fun little group of beads, and they do have a slightly larger hole. So I thought of those when I thought, okay, what if I don't have this flat suede lace? What if I have like a more traditional suede? So I wanted to check and see if that would work with the Euro beads. It might be quite tricky to find a gemstone bead with a hole this big, but I thought the Euro beads might work for the regular suede lace. So you can see how much chunkier that is and how much more space that takes, this type of suede lace. So I'm cutting that lace at an angle again, just because it'll be easier to thread. Oh, and it fits pretty nice, but you saw how easy that went on. So this is a This suede lace is thin enough to kind of tuck into that bead pretty easily. You also see that this traditional suede lace is stiffer, so my lark's head knot keeps wanting to pop open. But when you're working with any leather product, the more you work with it, the softer it will get and the less kind of springy it will get. So this bead is a little bit looser. I wouldn't necessarily rely on it staying in place. So I would probably definitely, unless the suede lace was a really snug fit, probably again add a little glue in there. But I thought that it would be fun to show a variation with suede lace that somebody might actually have in their stash. They wouldn't necessarily have this fine flat suede lace. But that is how you would look for that. If you go Googling, you would want to search for flat suede lace. And the width is 3 millimeter. And then, but this makes a great option too. A regular suede lace is kind of it's bigger and bolder, but that is also, I think, has a lot of potential. So that is our Western lace earrings. Pretty easy, lots of potential. And again, you can buy it in the kit, or you can, switching my camera back right now, you can buy it in the kit, or you can download a project sheet and just, play with your own variation of it. So I am going to give away 2 of these kits. And what I'm going to do is just have you put a comment. Anybody who has commented already in either the YouTube or any of the Facebook streams, you're already entered. By the end of the day, no, actually, I'll make it tomorrow morning. Let me think. When am I going to announce these? Thinking. I probably will announce them sometime at the end of today. So I will look at all the comments later today, and I will randomly pick 2 names. And it doesn't have to be comments that people watching live have made. I like to, stretch it out so that people who can't watch live and end up watching it later in the day also have a chance. So I will pick some names maybe at around 5 p.m. today, and I'll make an announcement of the winners then. So good luck. So other stuff coming up today. There's just going to be a couple of posts with some resources for you sprinkled in here and there throughout the day. And then at 2 p.m., I'm going to come back on and do a demo of these, what I call our summertide earrings. Now, these have been sitting around the shop. I made them years ago. I can't even tell you, maybe 2015, 16. And they were a project that we wanted to get on the website and just didn't make it to the top of the list until recently. And I'm like, okay, those earrings are great for summer. They're great for music festivals. It's time to get them on the website. And I just did that a few days ago, last week sometime. So I'm going to demo these at 2 p.m. today here in the group, and also on in the Great Bead Extravaganza group on YouTube. And let's see what else. At the very end of the day, I am going to announce my projects for the Midsummer Market. And that's exciting because they're new projects, or it's some new stuff. So that's kind of exciting. So watch for that as well later today. And I will see you at 2 p.m. with our next live demo. And thank you very much. And I'll see you later. And see you at 2 p.m. Bye.